Homies, we're back once again with the Rudder Game Master. No, we're back once again with another video on kind of challenging the prospect, because it's something that comes up all the time in the group, all the time in kind of one-to-ones. And there's another kind of layer that I want to speak about, and it's kind of touches upon, or at least my view on this, on how much to challenge a prospect, right? Because there's a continuum of, on one side, like the top end, you've got challenge them like a lot, right, and push them away, and then you've got on the bottom end, you've got like when you shouldn't really challenge, and it's like, how do we determine that? And I'll give you some examples, right? So let's go on this side, when you really kind of shouldn't challenge much, because the line you don't want to cross is challenging the prospect and pushing the prospect away who is simply there to buy. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, we all get them. They come to the call, they're educated. I don't know what happens. Some people have already determined in their own mind they're going to buy today. The last thing you want to do is kind of turn them off and push them away too much, because they're kind of thinking, bro, I'm here with my credit fucking card. What are you doing? You know? And so you kind of got to work that out. And those people you don't want to challenge much. On that side as well, you've not just got the people who have decided they want to buy, so they're the layup closers, but the people who are very well qualified and are very educated, so highly educated prospects on your offer. For example, they've had a setter call, they've got a range in pricing, they've watched the VSL, they know the insides out of your offer, they know the challenges you fix. Like, let's say they're incredibly educated, right? You've done a really good job, the setter and the materials. The fact that they're on the fucking call with you means they're pretty close to closing anyway, right? And in those conversations, a lot of the time, if you get them there, what you're doing is overseeing just a high level fucking conversation. And in many ways, you're just not there to fuck it up. You're there to show your kind of technical knowledge, that you're a fucking god when it comes to this product, and that you're competent as hell. Do you know what I mean? Like the steps laid ahead and the ways to buy are incredibly simple and effective, and you're just kind of taking that through the service, through your mechanism, right? And an example of which is, like, I've been helping out in consulting and helping them close on an offer, a new offer, brand new offer. And I put in all my systems, kind of the SDR call, the materials, the VSL, and by the time they got to the close call, these people are fucking highly educated guys. And what you found on the calls was instead of taking them from kind of, 0 to 100, you're taking them from like 70 to 100. Do you know what I mean? And so it really came down to a high level conversation, competence, professionalism, technical knowledge, and then just down to money. Like, can they afford it? Right. And in those cases as well, like, even I found through a bit of trial and error, and it makes so much sense, making it difficult for them is in really pushing away. It's kind of a bad idea. You can do it in a very light-hearted manner. Like, hey, John, is this something you've even thought about doing yourself or not? Right? That's kind of a light push away. Right? So those type of people, we're trying to make it easy for them in many ways, but not just searching for a yes, like an idiot, but we're making an incredibly easy buying process. Okay. On the other side of that continuum, you've got people who are fucking very skeptical, not educated at all, and maybe even people who aren't going to make a decision, right? So the psychology here is, like, let's say you start the call with these guys, you said looking for yes or no, and they're like, hey, I'm not making decisions today. And you're like, no issues at all. Like, that'll be a no today, and that's totally fine. Like, you already know they're not making a fucking decision. So your tactics of making it incredibly simple for them to buy and kind of following them through isn't going to work in your favor, because their mindset is already skeptical, kind of not making a decision. And they do that because their guard's up, and they don't want to be in that environment of being pushed down that buying corridor. So when I ever get any kind of pushback where they're heavily skeptical, They've maybe told me they're not making a decision. Maybe there's a business partner they need to involve. Why go guns blazing for the yes? Right? I kind of want to show them that the reverse psychology is like, hey, even if you wanted to just buy today, it ain't that easy, right? And for those people, then I'll make it even hard. Like, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not making it fucking so incredibly difficult that they get pissed off at me, but I show that I am not desperate for the sale. And in many ways, I'm showing them in clear terms that I am trying to understand whether this would be a good option for them. You know, I think, for example, on the call center offer, the new offer, in the instance where I'm speaking to someone who is not highly educated, hasn't watched the VSL, didn't have an SDR call because they were few and far between, then they're definitely more skeptical. And so my challenging is kind of taking up a level. And I'm like, why don't you just go and do this yourself? It's a really good option. We can just give you the playbook. Why would you, in my mind, I'm kind of thinking here, John, call center would be good, but why would you even need a physical office? From what I'm hearing, you know, potentially you could just hire a remote caller. Have you considered that? Right? And those types of kind of pushaways are me showing I am on your side and I'm looking out for you and seeing if this is a good decision for you. Because look, those are the options there might be better. And just that reverse psychology of them seeing that, first they come into call, they're like pushing away, they're like not making a decision, I've got business partners. They give me any of these signs, they're highly skeptical, just really curious. I push away a bit more in that sense. And what they do, reverse psychology, is they're like, hey, fucking hell, this guy's like not just trying to sell me. He's actually looking out for my side of the coin. He's looking out for me. This develops huge trust. And then sometimes you flip those people on the head. They came in so skeptical. And this happened last week. They come in skeptical. By the end of the call, they're like, listen, this is so good. Like, I want this. You know, maybe they don't still make a decision, but you've flipped their mind. I mean, I even had it this week where a guy came into call, mid-level education, was very much like, hey, you know, I'm just kind of curious on this, but I'm kind of not in a position to, I don't think I need one type thing. I was like, no issues. I mean, most people come on to call highly skeptical. And in many cases as well, it's not really always the right choice, you know? But what we'll do is we'll figure that out today. And then because I was just pushing away lightly and kind of looking out for his side, by the end of the call, he was like, listen, I might need 2 of these. I'm bringing my business partner involved, and we booked a call with me and his business partner too, right? So this is kind of the continuum, guys, of like how you should perceive yourself, how much to challenge someone. If they're in a mindset of buying, they're highly educated, you show a competent professional process, make it incredibly simple steps for them to buy, very light challenging. And you got someone skeptical, curious, not educated at all, the type of person who's just seen the ad, they've got business partners you already know, they're not the top level person for decision making, they've told you they're not making a decision. These guys, like, fuck it, challenge them. Show them you are not that person who's just desperate for the yes. And then the reverse psychology will work in your favor, guys. Hope that makes sense.